Fuck.
So
I keep doing that.
well, hello everybody, welcome back to SpeedyCompletes Resident Evil 2.
Yeah. I have too many things in my inventory. I think I gotta drop the machine gun.
Yeah, you're gonna have to let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Gotta drop off the machine gun, let it go. I don't know the next word, but I'm gonna rhyme this song with pie.
Yeah. I think last time we were talking about some memories with Resident Evil.
Yeah. Who were we
I
on?
believe. Yeah. Okay. I'll talk about some Resident Evil experiences that I had.
Okay.
I think I mentioned this one time during either a live stream or some part of Resident Evil 5. I'm unsure, but I'll go ahead and say it. A bit of detail. When I was a lot younger, I didn't really get into Resident Evil, but my brothers were really big fans of it. And I used to always go into the room and play on the Nintendo GameCube or play whatever console they had because, the graphics and stuff always amazed me. But the problem is that I was the youngest in the family, so I was the kind of like the young little brother that was super annoying.
Uh-huh.
And so my brothers thought the only way to keep me away from their room was to play Resident Evil 0 or Resident Evil the remastered one for the GameCube.
Oh. Some of it was too scary for you to watch.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it would scare me so bad, especially Resident Evil 0. The opening animation for it with the freaking leeches with the really thin but sharp teeth. Gave me nightmares.
My first introduction to Rebecca was actually the novel series, and it was just so weird that to play as her, because in the books it follows what the original game did. Now, the first time you meet Rebecca Chambers in Resident Evil, if you're playing on the canon playthrough, you play as Chris and you go into a utility closet. And she's hiding in there, and she sprays you in the face with bug spray. and then you gotta keep in mind, this all is after Resident Evil 0.
Yeah.
So it's how did she go from being badass zombie hunter monster snail, or sorry, not snails, what are they? Leeches hunter.
Yeah.
To hiding in a closet with bug spray.
I think I think it was the convict that made her into a badass.
Oh yeah.
Let's be honest.
Got good old Ricky Clubs. Am I right?
I think that's his name. I don't know. Been forever since I've seen that game. But the one game that I actually started playing, or at least the first game I ever played all the way through without getting scared or terrified of it. I got spooked, but it was Resident Evil 5.
Oh.
And that game actually helped open me up to other Resident Evil games, like Resident Evil 4. Then I played through all the way through Resident Evil 1 again.
Oh God!
And now this game.
Oh.
Man, that cringe
was
real. Yeah! Be careful, that one may snag you.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Gotta love that trick shot. Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Damn it. Damn it. Got him! Oh, this is such a cheap playthrough. But if you love Resident Evil 2 for its story, it's perfect. Because that's what you're gonna get. Story and story.
By story, you mean story from the book. Because it's book canon.
Yeah, the correct story. 2236.
More lore. Yeah.
2, 2, 3, 6. What we got in here? Nah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you definitely need to take that police map.
That's all I get was a map? Okay.
Yeah, but you would have had some shotgun shells, which would have been useful.
Oh, okay. This guy's dead.
Next, he just grabs you by the ankle and he's like, "No, I still live." You ever played like any arcade games?
I played an arcade rail shooter of this game for the Wii, called Dark Side Chronicles.
I actually wanted to play those.
Oh,
no,
it's actually,
but I wanted to.
It's actually a pretty cool idea. They took the story of this game, but gave it a scenario to where Leon and Claire are with each other the entire time, and it's got a unique play style, which is kind of like House of the Dead style. So it was okay. It wasn't terrible, but I was thinking that story worked. You know, it wasn't grasping at strings the entire time. You know.
Yeah, I really enjoy on-rail shooters. I think the last on-rail shooter I actually played through was actually a Dead Space one. I think it was called. It was the one that was the prequel to Dead Space. I forgot what it's called. Dead Space something.
Dead Planet?
No.
Dead Orbit?
No.
Dying Space? Space with the flu?
No.
Anyway,
Dead Space Extraction. Yeah.
Oh, Extraction of Dead Space. So wouldn't that mean that it was afterwards?
No, Dead Space Extraction takes place before the first Dead Space game. It's called Dead Space Extraction because it revolves around the group that extracted this ancient relic from this alien planet to the colony, and then on the ship, which the artifact caused this crazy stuff to happen that caused all the people to mutate into monsters.
I don't think I've ever heard of this one. What platform is it on?
Wait, question. Have you ever played Dead Space?
Yeah! Dead Space 3.
Oh my god! Oh my god, you've missed so much.
I know. I wasn't a big fan of Dead Space. My friend Lowopi and I
played because it's Dead Space 3! You need to play Dead Space 1, man!
I will. It was my friend Lowopi and I. We played through co-op on my old channel. And that was back in the early YouTube days. And I had a pretty bad case of I think it was whooping cough.
Yeah.
And recording it was hell. You know? I think I might actually just take it down because it was so bad.
True.
Hello.
One thing with Dead Space is that if you like Resident Evil, then you'll love Dead Space because it is good for survival horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first game would scare you because it played certain things off so right, and it puts you in spots where you have no choice but to kind of tense up, you know, where you're surrounded with very limited ammo. All you gotta do is just cringe and hope to God that you don't die. Dead Space 2 got a little bit better. It was a bit more wackier.
Yeah.
But it still tried to hold on, and by the time I get Dead Space 3, it was just action-packed. Yeah. But in Dead Space 1, basically they moved this marker, that's what they called it, the marker, from this alien planet to the colony, because apparently the unitologists were... Which you know who the unitologists are, right?
Yeah, there's people that cut off their junk when they're small, right? Yes, I know who they are. I'm sorry.
I'm like, really? That's if I didn't know about them.
No,
That's kind of interesting.
That would be a eunuch.
A eunuchologist.
Yeah. Is that a eunuch psychologist or scientist or blah 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 blah?
Yeah, but for everyone at home, a unitologist is like these people that believe that the whole universe is one and we all originated for some form or thing. And there was like a marker that was on Earth, and apparently when they found this alien planet, it had the same marker. So they're like, yeah. He's like, yeah, now we're gonna find the origin of mankind. And then they realized that marker was not the origin at all, but instead it was the end of mankind.
Yep. So what it was, every single time the marker is dug up, people start turning into the monsters, or is there something that's released that infects them, or what happens with the markers? What are the markers?
Okay, so just to evaluate, the whole thing is that the problem was that the marker left the planet, or once the marker left its place, it started doing like weird stuff. Like I guess it released an aura of sorts that caused people to start going insane. People started killing each other. People started killing and mutilating themselves. And then from the dead bodies, their DNA begins to get infected with a virus that causes them to mutate and turn into what we call necromorphs. So yeah, that's the whole interesting bit of Dead Space and Dead Space Extraction, which is the on-rail shooter.
Hey, ink ribbon. Shit, I didn't want to pick that up. Let's say it's everyone's favorite time again. Pause the video and read shit because I can't be asked. Yo.
Secretary's Diary. Sweet. Yeah. If I would recommend anything, I would recommend Dead Space 1 out of all of them. Just fair out. Oh man, so much item management, so many keys, so many stuff.
I know. I do miss Resident Evil 4's gigantic suitcase that I get to rearrange my items with.
Yeah, true. I'll tell you what though, maybe we should talk about Resident Evil 4 next time on SpeedyCompletes.
Next time on SpeedyCompletes?
Next time on SpeedyCompletes.
Next time on SpeedyCompletes.
Yes. Rockets!
Rocket launcher! Oh god! Ah no!
Lord Hater! that's what I'm getting from.